Hello guys, and welcome back to Tiersbeck TV. Today I am heading to the Danish Land Rover Club's annual charity off-road event, which you may remember we went to last year and did a video also. The difference with this year is that firstly, I'm driving in my own storm-tuned TD5 Defender rather than the Discovery Sport we drove last year, and sadly Nissa is not with me. I will be going on my own. But I'll explain more about the event when we get there, but this is going to be the longest journey I've ever done in this car because it's going to be about 250 kilometers each way. So I've just topped up the tank and let's head on our way. So we're now on the bridge that is known as the Big Belt Bridge, if you translate it from Danish, and it connects the island where Copenhagen is to the rest of Denmark, effectively. And finally off the motorway, we've got 5 kilometers to go. So I have made it. That was a near 3-hour drive in my Defender, which is the longest journey I've ever done by a long way in that car, but it was absolutely faultless. Anyway, I am now in the Land Rover car park. As you can see, it is rather empty though, and that is because everyone has already gone out to the off-road track. So I'm going to jump in my car and head out there right now so I can capture all of the action. The camera probably doesn't do this justice, but the ground here in the Land Rover car park is rather strange. You can see there's lots of craters and dips and everything, and I even resorted to using low range just now to get through it. Right, so now that we made it out of that treacherous car park, we can follow this track and it should lead down to where we want to go. Got some light obstacles in the way obviously here. So I've just parked up behind me at this roadside here, and on the other side of these trees is this mud track, which you may remember for last year, but you can see how dusty it is right now. Oh, we've got a military PMV thing coming past. So, and yeah, it's dusty. But anyway, I'm gonna go down to the this kind of sludge hole thing down here. Anyway, that's where all the interesting stuff seems to be happening at the moment. And, oh no, I think someone's got stuck. While these guys get this Land Rover unstuck from sinking down here, I should probably take this opportunity to actually explain what this event is. As I said, it is a charity off-road event, and the whole point behind it is for kids with terminal or life-changing illnesses to come and experience some off-roading or go out in some military vehicles or whatever, that kind of thing, and just have a good day out basically. So the Danish Land Rover Club is the one who sets it up and why this is all Land Rovers, but it is also, or we're at a military base or military training ground right now, which is why the army is also involved and they have these personnel carriers going around as well. And that was also a great opportunity for us to come and take some cool pictures and make a cool video for you guys to watch, and then that in turn promotes the event as well, so it's a win-win for everybody. So spontaneous transition here. Just been invited by Christian in that Defender up front to follow him up to another photographing spot. Oh, where are we going? There may also be some of you wondering, why am I not joining in on this off-roading action if I've driven my car all the way down here? Well, to be honest, I've got to drive back again 3 hours-ish, and I don't really want to risk something going wrong, or even just having mud clogged up in brakes and places where it shouldn't be. So I'm just going to play it safe and enjoy other people doing the off-roading, and I'll film and photograph them, and we'll save the off-roading in this car for when we're back at Tierspec, just because it's just not worth risking something going wrong when I'm this far from home. Okay, this was supposed to be the easy route. I have no clue where we're going. It looks like I am doing some off-roading here. Woo! Ah, okay. I have a feeling I know where this is. I think we went here last year. Some of you may recognize some of these spots from last year's video if you've been subscribed for that long. I don't know how many subscribers we had this time last year, actually. What? Okay, this is some cross-axle-y stuff. Oh, it's a shame I don't have someone to film me from the outside here. Let's just say I slightly underestimated the ability of these Land Rovers to fling mud in my general direction. Although having said that, I don't really care too much as long as it's not on my camera. Right, we're now going to go head back up to that lake area we were at before, but that means I've got to get through this first. So more of this light terrain. Slowly creep over this crest and let low range do its thing. And I am not going in the deep end of that mud, that's for sure. So despite the fact that I'm not intentionally going off-road today, I still seem to be getting pretty good use out of my car, and I am also now covered in mud somehow, and on my glasses, my arms, my legs, and whatever, everywhere, but most importantly, none of it is on my camera. Anyway, let's focus back on this sludge hole thing, and I'm going to turn the camera around right now, because there's a military personnel carrier thing coming through. He changed his mind. This Discovery appears to be well and truly stuck, and no matter whether they winch it or tow it, it is not moving. One thing that does not, fortunately for you, come across on camera is just how bad this stuff smells. So I'm now back at the main event area. I'm kind of amazed at the terrain you have to go through just to get out to that track. I'm back here. I didn't film on the way back, but you did see at least on the way out. And this car park as well, I am having to use low range basically to get through it. It is pretty crazy. Anyway, the day is coming to a close, but before we finish, I am going to have a quick walk around the car park and see what else is going on as well. And then it's time to head home. We're coming towards the end of the day and the off-roading is over, and now it's just carnage in the car park. There's just Land Rovers moving all over the place. Shout out to Dan that I just spoke to for having TierSpec TV stickers on his Land Rover. So, to jump ahead a few hours, I'm happy to report that both myself and my Defender made it back home safely. And before I wrap up this video, there are just a few things that I want to talk about. Firstly, as I mentioned earlier, today was the longest journey I've ever done in this car, and in total I drove about 536 kilometers going there and back and doing the bit of off-roading at the event. And while I wasn't necessarily expecting something to go wrong, I am at the same time kind of impressed and almost proud that this car made it and drove in the way that it did, because it sat at 60-70 miles an hour quite happily all the way there on the motorway, then did some off-roading when we were there, and then drove all the way back again. And from the start of the video where I topped up the tank, and then to about halfway on the journey back where I topped up the tank again, it did 28 miles to the gallon by my calculations, which I don't think is too bad. I think it would have been a bit more if I hadn't done the off-roading stuff at the event, because I was driving around in low range for quite a bit. So I think it could have been 30, maybe more, if it weren't for that. But like I say, I'm kind of really impressed at how the car performed when you consider it's done 292,000 kilometers now, and you know how I treat this car when we're off-roading or doing silly drag races in the fields and whatever else. So super happy about how this car performed. Next, I want to say thank you to the Danish Land Rover Club for organising another really enjoyable event. Hopefully we will be back again soon. And also thank you to Land Rover Experience Denmark for inviting me in the first place, and thank you and a shout out to everyone who recognized me and came and chatted to me at the event. It was really nice to talk to you. And then there was Christian, who kind of looked after me and showed me around at the event as well. Thank you to you. And that was about it, I think. Sorry if I missed anyone off. And then one last thing before I finish this video, because I haven't said this on YouTube yet, but TierSpec TV key tags are now available from the TierSpec TV store. The TierSpec TV on one side and Just Defender things on the other, but they're now available. Nice little accessory to have on your Land Rover keys or whatever you want to put them on. Anyway, that is about it. I'm in desperate need of a shower and a hot meal now. Thank you so much for watching, guys. It's been an epic day. Don't forget to subscribe for more content. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next video.